It is now my pleasure to introduce Michael Copeland. Michael moved to Olathe over 30 years ago from the suburbs of Los Angeles to play football at Mid-American Nazarene University. Out of those 30 years, Michael has spent serving our community, over 20 of those 30 years serving our community, first as a councilman and now as our mayor. He has definitely left his mark on the city of Olathe. From railroad grade separations, which I'm sure that everyone in the surrounding neighborhoods goes to bed thanking the mayor and the city council every night that they don't have to listen to horns, to this beautiful community center, which has exceeded everyone's expectations. But I believe that his greatest gift is his mayor's Christmas tree fund. There isn't a not-for-profit or a child in this community that isn't better off because Michael Copeland moved here 30 years ago. So it is my pleasure to introduce my friend and our mayor, Michael Copeland.
Thank you. I asked him if he'd just keep talking instead. He didn't take us up on that. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. It is so great to be here. Thank you for participating in your community in this way. You know, vibrant cities provide the foundation for the health and growth of people and businesses. They deliver access to education, to good jobs, to creative pursuits, and to services and amenities that promote strong, healthy lifestyles. They are characterized by a culture of interconnectedness, places where local government, community leaders, and residents are engaged together in initiatives that contribute to a high quality of life. I have good news for you today. Olathe is among the most vibrant cities in all of America. As we begin this year's State of the City address, I want to recognize some of the people who work very hard every day to ensure the vibrancy of this community. First of all, I'd like to thank the event sponsors and table sponsors for your help with today's event. I want to thank the Chamber Board of Directors and CEO Tim McKee and his team. Also, I'd like to thank my team of amazing council members. Please recognize them with me when I call your name. John Bacon, Ron Reichman, Larry Campbell, Jim Randall, Wes McCoy, and Marge Vogt. Thank you, guys. And of course, we couldn't do it without our CEO, Michael Wilkes, the longest serving CEO, city manager in the history of Olathe. Thank you, Michael, for all that you do. And finally, my family team. Maria, my wife. Oh, wait a second, girls. The superintendent of schools is right back there. Don't tell him you're playing hooky for lunch. My Olathe Northwest High School Raven, Olivia, and my Prairie Trail Middle School Husky, Abigail. Thank you, guys. Well, when I was growing up, I ate a lot of Campbell's soup. No, Larry, this is not a gratuitous plug for you. Just bear with me. Anyway, I ate Campbell's soup. Maybe some of you did too. Campbell's soup has been a family staple for a long time, since 1869, which means it's been around far longer than anybody in this room, except, of course, Jim Randall. When Campbell's first put a label on its soup cans, that label was orange and blue. But of course, today, we're all familiar with the red and white label, which itself has gone through iterations, several iterations actually, over the years. Now, in case you're wondering, what does a story about Campbell's soup have to do with Olathe? Here's my point. Just as old brands need to be refreshed periodically to stay relevant, cities have to purposefully update themselves to stay fresh and vibrant too. And that is just what Olathe has done this past year. The building we're in is a perfect example. A year ago, Olathe's long-awaited community center was still a dream in the making. Now it's a reality, and the numbers tell the story. Well, clearly the new community center has been a brilliant focal point for Olathe recently, but it isn't the only one. Over the years, Olathe has nurtured a positive, growth-enriching environment that has attracted businesses and residents. It's created a demand for a leading-edge conference center. Olathe has responded to that demand. We broke ground last April on a new 200-room Embassy Suites hotel and conference center, a $51 million investment, 175,000 square feet. And that includes a 23,000 square foot conference center. The ballroom will hold up to 1,000 people. This new civic asset not only will be a great place for meetings like this, it also will open new doors for Olathe, making us the destination of choice for all kinds of conventions and conferences. And next year at this time, we'll be meeting in that building, in that new facility. We continue to build on downtown Olathe's strengths and celebrate the investments we've made in the heart of our city. Last spring, we dedicated Olathe's new Civic Center Park, the culmination of our Santa Fe streetscape enhancements, which have created a more beautiful, safe, and pedestrian-friendly downtown. The Kansas City Star wrote about another example of how Olathe demonstrates leadership and keeps its brand strong. Last year, 95% of you participated in the city's recycling program. Thanks to our residents, we kept more than 40% of trash and yard waste out of our landfills. Yard waste gets composted, less trash has to be hauled to the dump, so the city saves money. It's small but important actions like those that have made Olathe a common sense steward of your money and an environmental leader for years. We are dramatically outpacing regional and national efforts to divert trash and your money from landfills, and our residents are to be applauded. Thank you. Okay, remember back a bit. Remember being a little kid waiting for the birthday present you knew, you were sure it was exactly what you wanted. Well, ever since Google announced plans to bring its ultra high-speed internet service to Olathe, that's a little bit what residents have been feeling. Good news, it's almost time to open the package. Last spring, Google built the network backbone and installed distribution lines. This year, the company will build individual, what they call fiber hoods, which means internet connection speeds 100 times faster than today's average broadband. And it's not just Google. AT&T has opened the door as well. AT&T recently announced plans to add similar capacity for our city to access information like never before. More technology innovation in an already technologically vibrant city. These projects represent the kinds of amenities that have tremendous impact on keeping a city brand strong, and they are fast becoming dreams fulfilled in Olathe. A key reason Olathe is flourishing is because city employees and elected officials never, ever forget that we are here to serve you and that this is your hard-earned money we are using. Our most important job is to work alongside citizens and local businesses to envision and create a community that reflects our shared values. For government leaders to listen and for all of us together to ensure that Olathe remains a vibrant city well into the future, we need you to keep speaking up, and I can't overstate this. We value your opinions and your thinking. They bring fresh energy and life to Olathe, and they point us toward the future. So please, make your voice heard and encourage your colleagues, your neighbors, and business associates to please do the same. One of the ways Olathe city leaders and elected officials listen is through our annual Direction Finder survey. Olathe-based ETC Institute conducts this survey every year for over 700 cities across the country. So it gives us a very clear idea about how we stack up. And we just got the results, and I've been looking forward to telling you about them. It's exciting. Olathe's approval rating for overall quality of city services is the highest in America. Now, just so you're clear, and that I'm clear with you, 700 cities, these are progressive cities that measure themselves against other competitors, are surveyed on this question of overall quality of city services. Olathe is number one. That's worth celebrating. But beyond that, we rated in the top 5% in value for tax dollars, and 97% of our residents regard Olathe as both an excellent or good place to live and an excellent or good place to raise children. In fact, Olathe's satisfaction levels exceed the national and metro averages in just about every major category. As I mentioned, ETC performs this survey in cities all across the country. And the Vice President, Chris Tatham, says, cities just don't see these results on a regular, consistent basis. We sure do here in Olathe, and we're proud of that. That doesn't happen by accident, doesn't happen by luck, or because we've been content at the top. It doesn't work that way. Just ask Kodak. Remember Kodak? They were the heavyweight in the film industry, the film business, for cameras. And they, though, introduced the first digital camera. But their focus stayed on film. They didn't invest in making their digital cameras the best in the market. So, of course, others quickly filled that gap. 2 years ago, Kodak went bankrupt. Olathe has not and will not make that mistake. Instead, your city employees continue developing smarter and more innovative ways to get their jobs done. Their dedication, their community spirit, their teamwork, and their desire to serve and give back are behind the success of everything we do. At the same time, we will not stop striving to get better, to be more transparent, more efficient, more nimble, and more accountable to you, our taxpayers. That's what has led us to the top, and that is what will keep us at the top. Ladies and gentlemen, a city and business community working together, we're doing some things right, and our citizens clearly recognize it. When residents, business, and city government work hand in hand, there's no limit on what we can achieve. Olathe witnessed another record year for economic development since the recession. In fact, Olathe surpassed every other city in Johnson County, a pretty vibrant place itself. We surpassed every other city in total economic development, total commercial square footage, and total capital invested in 2014. Everyone else behind us. Olathe's vibrancy, yes. Olathe's vibrancy is a huge attraction for business. Thriving companies like DH Pace chose Olathe as their new home. And hometown companies like Canyon Stone and Custom Storefronts chose to stay and expand right here. These companies and others invested more than $103 million in our community and propelled 490,000 square feet of new commercial development and filled 488,000 square feet of vacant space. Most importantly, because it all comes down to people, Olathe created or retained 2,000 jobs in 2014. Numbers like that don't happen by accident. They're fueled by a civic environment established purposefully over many years that values business and stimulates growth. Here's a look at some of Olathe's current economic development projects and the important numbers that go with them. John and Camille Roberts. They own custom storefronts. They moved to Olathe 12 years ago. John says he saw right away how well the city was run. When it was time to expand, John and Camille didn't even think about looking elsewhere. Instead, they put down deeper roots in Olathe, buying land and building new space. John says it, of course, better than I could. The organization of the city, the assistance we received from the chamber, and ultimately the ability to pursue industrial revenue bonds made it clear to us that we would keep our business in Olathe and expand it here as we grew. John's experience and the experience of businesses and residents all over town affirms our status as a leading city, both regionally and nationally. It's the reason Olathe continues to get noticed on a national scale. MSN recently named Olathe a top 10 most desirable mid-sized city to move to, and it's because of our quality of life. My Life ranked Olathe the 6th safest city in America and the 7th best mid-sized city in which to raise children, and that's only a sampling of the recognition that came our way last year. No way are we stopping there. We started off this year with Olathe Medical Center's unveiling plans for its largest expansion ever. We're talking 200,000 square feet and an investment of more than $100 million. The expansion will add 200 jobs and, most importantly, will allow OMC to continue providing the highest quality, state-of-the-art healthcare for our residents at every stage of life. Simply put, this expansion is a healthcare game changer for our Olathe health system and our community, and we couldn't be more proud. And soon, we expect our hometown global positioning leader, anybody know who that is? To further strengthen its partnership with our community. When Garmin moved to Olathe in 1996, it found a favorable business environment and an exceptional talent pool that have supported the company's steady growth. Garmin is nearing capacity on its 90-acre site and is looking at several options for expansion right here in Olathe. Those of you in this room know that the northwest corner of Santa Fe and Ridgeview, you know where I'm talking about? It's probably not the most attractive place in Olathe, but I'm happy to announce here today that Sutherland's is in the planning process for redeveloping its 1970s era building at that corner. That redevelopment decision will kickstart a whole new, upgraded look for the area and be an exciting extension of our Santa Fe streetscape project. I want to talk to you about fiscal trust. Business growth is an important part of our story, but it's only one part. As the economy continues to improve, our city also is increasingly reaping the benefits of prudent financial management during the Great Recession. The conscientious decisions made in those years put us in position to meet the services and infrastructure needs of a city that grew almost 2,400 residents last year and whose assessed valuation grew at 6%. Our careful financial management is also reflected in our excellent bond ratings. The agencies that look at Olathe and our financial stewardship confirm that our fiscal decisions are keeping our community financially healthy. That's why our bond ratings have remained exceptionally high during this very difficult time. Your city council and your staff are responsible for making thoughtful decisions to manage taxpayer dollars honestly and in ways that are consistent with our community's values. As a result, Olathe's satisfaction with value for tax dollars towers 30% above regional and national averages. Nearly 3 out of 4 citizens are satisfied or very satisfied with the amount of taxes they pay in Olathe. Wow. You can be sure that we'll continue to earn your confidence by being performance-driven, transparent, and accountable. In my view, a vibrant city is more than the combination of enhanced commerce, engaged citizens, and solid financial performance. A vibrant city is characterized by the generosity of its residents and businesses and the priority they place on serving the needs of those less fortunate. And of course, you know, Olathe is rife with examples of those who are quick to share their time, their talents, their money to benefit others. Near and dear to my heart is the Mayor's Christmas Tree Fund. I was nearly speechless last year, can you believe that, when I announced to you, wasn't that funny, Council? When I announced to you last year that the fund had increased $25,000 from 2012 to 2013, I should learn not to be surprised by Olathe's enormous heart, because that was only a small taste of what was to come. In its 2014 campaign, the fund raised over $175,000, more than $40,000 over 2013. The numbers themselves are astonishing. But when you consider our kids, the students in Olathe Public Schools raised more than $22,000, almost 13% of our 2014 total. The fund's success is phenomenal. It tells me that even our youngest residents already know the incomparable joy of giving and understand the importance of helping other children and families in need. And thanks to our great partners, Aldi and Farmers Insurance, for covering all the fund's overhead costs. That means 100% of donations go directly to our 16 charities. And I'm so proud of our Mayor's Christmas Tree Fund Board and Olathe's caring and giving hearts. And I can't thank you all enough. What a tremendous community we serve. A community built by extraordinary people and leaders who have helped us preserve the rich legacy of our past while showing us today's successes are setting the standard and setting the stage for even further accomplishment, more great things to come. We call these leaders cathedral builders, for they truly understand what building our vibrant community is all about. You know the story, many of you do. 3 masons were building stuff. A young man walks up to one of them and says, "What are you doing?" The first mason says, "I'm laying bricks." The young man goes to the second mason, "What are you doing?" This guy has a little bigger vision. "I'm building a wall." Then he approaches the third mason and says, "What are you doing?" "Well, I'm building a beautiful cathedral for all to enjoy for many, many years to come." It's an honor today to present the Olathe Cathedral Builder Award to 2 very deserving recipients who have contributed immeasurably to the vibrancy of our city. The first is a community cornerstone and a tremendous source of our pride, and we could not ask for a better partner and cathedral builder than we have in Olathe Public Schools. It's no wonder our schools are growing. Olathe West, our district's 5th high school, started construction last summer. By fall 2017, this stunning facility will be the academic home for 2,000 students. Olathe School District is skillfully shaping the future of education in our hometown. And look at the results. Students in the district scored a composite 23.9 on the ACT, the highest in the history of the district, and well above state and national peers. Olathe educators have been named Kansas Master Teacher in 5 out of the last 11 years. The U.S. Department of Education has awarded the Olathe School District with 17 Blue Ribbon Awards, more than any other district in all of Kansas. It's truly amazing to see the numbers of scholars and state champion athletes that we recognize at city council meetings here in Olathe twice a year. Olathe school teams have brought home 23 state championships in bowling, track and field, volleyball, football, cross country, gymnastics, softball, soccer, and girls basketball, all in the last 5 years. Just last week, a 12-year-old Olathe student, Vanya Shivashankar, won the Lifetime Channel's Child Genius Competition, beating out 19 other very gifted students from across the country in the 8-week series. Olathe prides itself on being a city of champions because of the excellence of our student athletes and scholars. But what's even more important is that our students exemplify the compassion, kindness, and true spirit of our city. They make me very optimistic about our future. We know the future is bright because we as a community have never wavered in our fundamental commitment to education, to progress. Our school district is known for excellence, and the city and the district are true partners in upholding those standards. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Olathe Board of Education President Lietta Felter to the stage. Thank you. Would you like to make some remarks?
So this is why you asked me to sit at your table. Well, thank you. This belongs to so many Harlan Parker noble statesmen, fellow board member, one of the best men I've ever known, Dr. Debbie Daniels, serving on the school board. Harlan, how many years have you served? 16. 16 years. You are a gift. Dr. Debbie Daniels served maybe 12 years. Harlan and Debbie, it's the sunset of their journey on the board, and we are so going to miss them. Brent McCune, is Brent here today anywhere? He's very involved. Brent is our financial guy with connections throughout the community. Rick Shear, he is on the school board also. He's another financial guy. Amy Martin, she's a champion and advocate for all things public education. Who am I forgetting on the school board? Mike Poland. He is our watchman and champion of all causes, making sure that we are truly reflective of the community. Superintendent of the Year for 2012 and every year in our hearts, Dr. Barry, Marlon Barry, and our leadership team here. We are truly, truly blessed to be here today to take this. Thank you so much. I want to say something though. You know, naming my fellow board members who are all servants who give their time, talent, and energy. We are you. The Olathe Public School District, we are you. We are the sons, the daughters, the mothers, the fathers, the sisters, the brothers, the granddads and grandmas, the aunts and uncles. The little widow in Villa St. Francis who buried her husband 2 weeks ago fighting cancer. We are the least among us, the helpless, the hopeless. We are that 8th grader at FT that's sitting in the chair squirming and wiggling and blurting out answers. We're that teacher who is so patiently trying to think of new ways to redirect all that energy that someday could cure cancer of that little lady in Villa St. Francis. We are the staff, the librarians, the counselors, the nurses, the school resource officers, the partnership with our community. We are the police, the fire, the EMTs, the first responders. We're the senators, the long-term amazing CEOs of the city. We're the city councilmen. We are the chamber, and I'm going to forget somebody. You could have given me a heads up on this. I really do write a good speech. We are the 2015 Olathe South graduate that has a full ride to Notre Dame, who was born and raised right here in Olathe. That's who we are. And I will add that we are better together. What does together look like? It's like I talk to my kids. It's not so much what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. Be mindful, treat others like you want to be treated. Think the best of someone, don't assume the worst. If you disagree, that's great. I mean, we disagree quite often in our vivacious home full of debate and dialogue. But you assume the best of others, and then if you disagree, you attack the policy, the theory, the theology, not the person. If someone falls, we pick them up. We dust them off and make them part of the family again. We take care of those who are hurting among us. And then we are the bright hope of the future. We are worthy of investment. We're the economic engine behind this amazing community. We're the small businesses. We're the large Garmins, John Deere's, farmers, Olathe Medical. So, we are Olathe, and I thank you for this. Thank you, Mike.
So those board members she mentioned have served our community so well for so many years. You know how much they get paid? Yeah, zero. They don't do it for the money. They do it because they care about our kids and our future. Well, as Leetta said, we're all stewards of our most precious resource, our children. Together, we shoulder an incredibly important responsibility, preparing our youth for tomorrow while passing on to them the rich legacy of our past. As a former educator, our next award recipient understands this very well. I'm speaking of an extremely special lady and Olathe native, Marin Moore. Marin has touched the lives of countless people in our community through her generosity, her community spirit, and incredible love for Olathe and its rich history. In fact, I can think of few people who have done more to ensure that we preserve, protect, and honor our great history, our heritage for current and future generations. When our community came together to celebrate Olathe's sesquicentennial in 2007, it was Marin's gift of matching funds that made our beautiful 150th birthday celebration and the sculpture that went with it possible. She has lovingly supported the Olathe Historical Society as a longtime board member and recently with a very generous endowment gift. When local filmmaker Greg Sheffer shared his dream to produce the film series Olathe, The City Beautiful, it's a historical documentary series, it was Marin who made the 3-time Emmy-winning films a reality. She served as a dedicated Mahaffey Farmstead Foundation board member since 2001, and she serves on the Mahaffey Farmstead Advisory Board for many, many years before that. Marin was the lead donor for our beautiful Mahaffey Heritage Center, home to the Olathe Historical Society and a showcase for vivid history displays. Until last year, what we didn't have at Mahaffey was a barn for visitors to enjoy. Marin changed that. Last May, we proudly dedicated the Edgar and Marin Moore Agricultural Heritage Barn. If you haven't seen it, it's an 8,500 square foot, fully functional barn that is enhancing visitors' experiences and preserving our agricultural heritage for present and future generations. Marin and her late husband, Edgar, have always demonstrated the importance of serving and investing in our community. Edgar, a Mid-American Nazarene University pioneer class of 1972 graduate, proudly served in 6 terms in the Kansas House of Representatives with a perfect attendance record. That's hard. Marin is passionate about sharing her love and appreciation for our history with young people. Like so many in our community, she has been a staunch supporter of education, progress. She generously established scholarship endowments for Olathe High School students and nursing students at Johnson County Community College. Marin, I know I speak for all those in this room in expressing our heartfelt gratitude for your years of service and lasting contributions you have made to our community.
I really love come to the Happy Ball.
I like the animals.
I really want to watch. Thank you,
Marin.
Before I present you with the Cathedral Builder Award, I'd like to do one more thing. Marin turns 99 in May. Let's celebrate her birthday by singing happy birthday to us. Joyce, lead us off. Happy birthday to her. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Marin. Happy birthday to you. It is my distinct honor to present Marin Moore with this Olathe Cathedral Builder Award. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Olathe is already vibrant and becoming more so every year. It's easy to tell the difference between a vibrant city and one that is stagnating. Stagnant cities focus inward. Vibrant cities maintain an active dialogue with their citizens and constantly look for ways to build community and to contribute to the greater good. Stagnant cities, they shy away from change. Vibrant cities are energized by positive change that enhances business growth and citizens' quality of life. Stagnant cities, they're satisfied with mediocrity, with sameness. As one of the most vibrant cities in America, we will never allow our potential, our future, to be held hostage to mediocrity. We will do whatever it takes to ensure that the city of Olathe, your community, remains one of the very best in all of America. Along with my colleagues on the City Council, I want to thank you. Thank you for partnering with us. Thank you for trusting us. We are honored and we are privileged to serve you. And 2015 is going to be another great year. We're already expecting 2 major economic development announcements in a relatively short time, and it's only March. Yay. This year, our new Embassy Suites Hotel and Conference Center will open its doors to guests and conventions. You'll see construction on 159th Street begin, a project that will open a new corridor for economic growth and development. You'll see progress as OMC expands, as Olathe West High School comes out of the ground. You'll see us maintaining our streets and keeping our parks and trails at the highest level that you expect. My friends, you'll see Olathe at the front line of the battle of bandwidth between AT&T and Google. You'll see us continue to be one of the safest cities in America. You'll see our city services continue being rated as among the best, if not the best, in the entire country. Most importantly, you'll continue seeing a citizenry that loves Olathe and is engaged in building this great community. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a great day in Olathe, and I'm so proud to report to you that the state of your city is strong. Thank you, God bless, and have a great weekend.